at his request, I won't call it the expert insider Star Mechanical hotline with DJ Bean. It's the friendship line with DJ Bean. What's going on, DJ? You fired up?
Hello, my oil people, my oil men and women, and everybody in between. It's a great day to be an oil man.
It is. Dayton was in and said, DJ Bean is my favorite regular guest appearance. Y'all should have him guest star on Real Life. We will do, if you get up to Edmonton, we will do in-person content with you, DJ. But last night, we were just talking about the vibes in the arena, in the moss pit. Aaron, can you play the video of them parading around the lady dressed like the Stanley Cup in the crowd? I don't know if you saw this last night, DJ, but the lady dressed they were crowd surfing her. It was electric in E-Town.
The best. I want to be there so badly. I mean, between that, we talked on What Chaos today about the just the dance circles that go on in the moss pit. Everything that you have going is so much better than anything any other. In New York, obviously, has the lights and the glitz and the glamour and the people from The Sopranos that they'll show in the audience. But as I said to you today, I love that showing Oscar Clefbaum will get a bigger reaction from Oilers fans than showing literally anybody will get from any other fan base. Like, you could, if, I don't know, say you were at like let's say the Stars or something. What if they were like, hey, everybody, guess what? We don't know why. Tom Hanks is here. Everyone would be like, oh, shoot, Tom Hanks, that rocks. Biggest, like, huge star. But when the Oilers say, we got Clef, nothing can touch it. I love the energy. I just love it so much.
It is like every single home game they've brought back an alumni.
Yeah.
And it has been like a lot of guys from the 06 run, because we had Jarrett Stahl the other day.
Rafi.
Rafi Torres. They done Rolly yet?
Last playoffs they did Rolly, but they haven't done Rolly yet this year. Or have they? Maybe.
The Rock, Rafi Torres.
Rock goes to games as a fan now.
Yeah, he just literally pulls up. And the other thing I like when they bring back the alumni is they don't put him in a suite or anything. There's Duncan Keith they brought back, and it's like Duncan Keith gonna be like first ballot Hall of Famer. There's like, yeah, you're sitting section 118, row 14, Dunk. Hope you enjoy the hockey game. It's so good, man. And on the ice last night, DJ, I know you are eternally optimistic about this team, and I am not. I ride the roller coaster very hard. How are you feeling when they went down 2-0?
Oh, terrible. I told our producer, Sean, I said, I don't turn off games. I don't do I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go catch a movie. I understand why people do that, because this means so much to us. And by this, I just mean sports. Whatever team you love, how invested you get, sometimes it can overwhelm you, and sometimes you just need to get away from it. I'm a glutton for punishment, so I never feel the need to get away from it. But I'll be lying if I wasn't thinking about just going on my phone the rest of the game. I would have the game on, but you know what? I'd be responding to some texts, check an email, maybe install a game or two. I was getting to the point where I did not think, I thought the Stars could come back from a 2-0 deficit in the first period, as we saw is possible when they fell behind 2-0 in the first period, erased it in the second period in game 3. I didn't know that the Stars could blow something like that, even though there were moments in the Avalanche series where they'd go up and Colorado would come back and everything. I just ascribe a mettle and a spirit and a character to Dallas that is so much more adult than any of the 3 remaining teams. Florida, they're pains in the asses, they're children. Rangers, they're their own thing. And the Oilers are endearingly very chaotic. I didn't think that the Stars could play with their food as much as they did yesterday, because they went up 2-0, and there was a period of maybe 3 or 4 minutes, we'll say, where I feel that Edmonton was stunned by what had happened, but the Stars almost seemed surprised too. They're like, well, did we really score on the first shot of the game? Did we really make it 2-0 5 minutes later? Are we really about to go up 3-1 in a series where through the first 3 games, it had been really, really close, and maybe we were even getting outplayed? Oh my God. And then before you know it, Edmonton's erasing the deficit, and Dallas doesn't score again the rest of the game. It was an incredible game. It was a classic game. As I put it afterwards, it was a complete 52-minute effort from the Oilers, which is about as high in number as I can think. Someone tweeted back, well, one of these days they're going to need to have a 60-minute effort. In fairness, the Oilers had a 60-minute effort in game 1, There just happens to be like 85 minutes in that game.
Yeah.
They can have it. But I think 2-2 is kind of where we should be right now. The Oilers have been the better team in the series, but not by so much. So 2-2 is right. I would have taken it going in, and here we are.
So true. Like people made it seem coming into this series that the Oilers were just going to get absolutely walked. And I just think those people who thought that don't actually know what this Oilers team kind of is, But one thing I want to ask you about, DJ, is the goaltending. Like Skinner, we all know what he is. He's a bit of a roller coaster, but I think it's fair to say Jake Ottinger hasn't been that great either. What have you thought of the goaltending battle?
So this is why my lovely co-host Pete Blackburn is an idiot and also a glutton for punishment. He said before the series, I don't think people realize there's a lot of similarity between these two players, Ottinger and Stu Skinner. Yes, when we see Stu, we think doom and gloom and we think of the bad. We also know, because we watched legitimately every Oilers game this season on our national hockey podcast, that Stu Skinner is a really good player. And Pete made the argument at some point in this series, maybe it'll be early, maybe it'll be late in the series, everyone's going to realize Skinner and Ottinger are quite close in what they bring to the table. Ottinger's playoff prowess has been overstated. He's been very good in the playoffs at points, was not good in the playoffs as recently as last year. But Pete's been proven right with that, and he's kind of distancing himself from it. And I'm telling him to take the victory lap, because at some point the other shoe may fall with Stu Skinner. But there were points, Liam, in the first period last night where I felt the Oilers were letting Stuart Skinner down and not the other way around. And I think that a lot of times people think, to your point, of the Oilers as a team that has so much talent and will be let down inevitably by their weak defense and by their shoddy goaltending. Yeah, that's proven right from time to time. But Stu Skinner's a good player. I don't think he made a massive impact, positive or negative, last night. And that is my hope and my want for Stu Skinner, because we know that the top end of Stu Skinner is amazing, but we also know the bottom end of Stu Skinner is about as unfortunate as the bottom end, we'll call it, of Darnell Nurse right now, because pucks are literally going in off of his bottom end. If he's right in the middle, where he's at 900 right now on the series, wouldn't you take that? Don't you like what you're generally getting from Stuart Skinner? I hated the Robertson goal to give him the hat trick in game 3, but I also don't think it was the worst, most unforgivable goal that's ever been allowed. So I'll take what I'm getting from Stu Skinner right now, and I'll commend Pete on correctly saying Ottinger is not this impenetrable fortress. We overrate one and we underrate the other.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. That. Like Ottinger, his numbers weren't fantastic this season.
Last year in the playoffs, he wasn't that good.
Yeah, I think everyone just kind of remembers back to that Calgary series where he's like, this guy's amazing.
Your first impression sticks for a little bit. Yeah, I think that's totally fair as well. But now Stuart Skinner, I think, has been good or passable in 5-6 straight hockey games, and all you want from Stuart Skinner is good or passable. The Chris Tanev situation, people are lighting up our chat about it, so we should probably talk about it. He blocks a shot, and then this image comes out today from the Edmonton International Airport. That would be right in between the Chili's and the Starbucks.
Yeah, so which is interesting that they don't fly private.
No, they do, but you still leave out of that terminal.
Really? Interesting.
So anyways, Chris Tanev's in a walking boot is the main point of this, not what he was eating for breakfast. This is significant if he's out, DJ. Like, the Stars are already running 4.5 defensemen in this series. To have no Tanev, that means Ryan Suter all of a sudden has to start playing more. He stinks. You never want to pray for injuries, whatever. The point is, it's a massive swing to Edmonton if this dude's not playing.
Yeah, and honestly, I am an Oil man. I'm optimistic and everything. I for sure am skewed in favor of Edmonton, but I just knew at 4-2 entering the third period when Chris Tanev wasn't on the ice, okay, the Oilers have won this game. I thought the Oilers would maybe put the pedal to the metal a little more offensively in the first 10 minutes of the third period, but without Chris Tanev, I just thought the Stars' hopes were dashed, because they're down to 5 defensemen, as you said, really more like 4.5 defensemen at this point. Tanev is 4th on the Stars in time on ice this postseason. He's 2nd on the Stars in shorthanded time on ice this postseason. You, Tyler, had a great appearance today on What Chaos, as you both are always welcome. And you raised the point that at some point, the bill's going to come due for the Oilers power play. They're going to actually get going, and they're going to convert on chances. And without Chris Tanev, that is a scary proposition for Dallas to be down one of your top penalty killers against the numbers may be what the numbers may be, but we all know the greatest power play unit ever. So if I'm a Stars fan, I don't know if I am demoralized from a intangible standpoint, and that's where I'm jealous of the Stars in Pete DeBoer, that even when they blow a 2-0 lead, I don't think they feel as, oh no, what did we just do, as say the Oilers, or in fairness, most teams would. I think that they do have that calmness about them. However, we are in a series where depth was supposed to win for Dallas. The Oilers' depth has been better than Dallas's depth has been. That is astonishing to me. You have players entering the top 6 that did not play in the previous game and making an impact and scoring a goal like Ryan McLeod did. You have Philip Broberg jumping it. The Oilers have more goal scorers this series than the Stars. I would have bet my life going in that the scoring would be more spread out from Dallas than for Edmonton. So 12 goals apiece on each side, and 8 are coming from Edmonton. That's amazing to me. That's very surprising. And then when you take away a legitimate key piece, because like Tanev ain't depth, baby. Tanev is a real difference maker. Losing that, man, again, if I'm the Stars, I don't worry, because I don't think the Stars are the worrying type. But that is a real blow.
It's massive, man. Absolutely massive. And now this series shifts back to Dallas, where Dallas is below 500 in these playoffs. Like again, it's such a roller coaster. But one game I flipped from, I don't know how you beat this Dallas team 3 of 4, and now I'm sitting here and you can't look ahead. That is dangerous. We've done that already in the series, but like, you can beat Dallas at home. You've played them really well at American Airlines so far in this series.
I think even in that game too, they were pretty unlucky to lose.
Were good. Yep.
What did you think of Perry going up to the second line?
I mean, I make sure I'm on the record with these sorts of things, not because I don't want to second guess or whatever, but almost there's a thing where you remember more what you write than what you read. So sometimes I'll get a take out there just so I can remember actually how I felt about something in the moment, such as goaltending changes, et cetera, et cetera. I would not have done a lot of what Chris Knobloch did last night. Mainly, I would not have put Corey Perry on the second line in Game 4 of a playoff series against a really good, strong team next to one of the best players in the world who is trying to find his game would be an overstatement, because Leon Draisaitl, when he doesn't have his game, is still better than 99% of players in the league. But Leon Draisaitl had gone 2 games without a point, which is an eternity for him this postseason. I hated the idea of putting Corey Perry next to him and saying, oh, you know what? Well, you know what will get things going offensively? Let's slow you down. Let's put a slow player, an old player next to you. But that's the thing of like, this is why you actually play the games. And this is why we actually watch the games to see it. I think that obviously that line was good and Corey Perry was a net positive. So shout out Chris Knobloch. Not what I would have done. I really have enjoyed the Corey Perry experience on Edmonton. I think that he's generally played well as a bottom sixer. And I think that he yelled at Evander Kane that one time, which in the moment didn't make me happy. But again, as Sean, our producer, said, and he's a big Buffalo Sabres fan, so he knows Evander Kane well, said part of being a good teammate to Evander Kane might be yelling at him from time to time. So all in all, positive marks for Corey Perry.
Yeah, I don't know how long he's going to last. Like
that's what Pete said.
Can you mess with a winning lineup though? Is the question.
Yeah.
Or is this a no?
Knobloch's not the type. Knobloch is not the type.
Yeah,
really,
he's definitely not. But I could see like 10 minutes into that game 5, if it's not going great, maybe Kane goes up so you don't slow down that.
Kane also wasn't good last night. If you wanted to put someone on the stinky boy list, Kane goes on the stinky boy list for his performance last night.
Number 1 stinky
He's
boy.
Probably number 1 stinky boy.
I think Derek Ryan might be number 1 stinky boy.
He wasn't good last night. Yeah. But anyways, I don't think he's going to mess with a winning lineup. Is my point.
Yeah, I think that, but I agree with Liam that maybe you start it with a short leash. My only request would be that your fail-safe is something that you've done before. Like, I'd be okay if he went into it and said, okay, my second line's going to be Draisaitl between McLeod and Perry. And if there are any sort of struggles, let's say Holloway is going back to that second line, or Kane's going back to that second, go back to something that Draisaitl has done and with which Draisaitl has succeeded. And I know that he was cold the previous 2 games, but I really do like Holloway with Draisaitl. I think that we've all kind of been waiting for Holloway to quote unquote break out or be utilized properly. What better way to utilize somebody to get them going than playing on the second line with Leon Draisaitl? So I'd like to see more of that at some point, but I'm kind of Chris Knoblauching it right now too, where, yeah, probably to begin the game, I'm going back with that because it worked.
Yeah, fourth line is quickly becoming the most consistent.
You
line.
love the fourth line. You're going to get a
amazing.
jersey that just says fourth line on the back
It's
with
gonna-
all their
It's
numbers.
going to say
Ooh.
Brown Mark.
Brown mark. Ooh, a nice brown mark jersey.
I mean, Liam, I could see you doing a Connor Brown jersey.
I mean, I have a Devon Shore jersey, so it wouldn't be the worst jersey I have in my closet.
And not only that is your go-to jersey.
It's my lucky one, although I did pull out the 2017 Leon Draisaitl last night. After they were down 2-0, I might add,
You put it on?
I realized I'm not wearing my jersey. So I ran downstairs to my sports closet, opened it up, and there it was, just shining right at me.
So I've got a few Oilers jerseys, and I've got a Navy Hyman one that let's say has shrunk on me this year, and then I've got a McDavid Heritage Classic one. The Hyman one, as I said, doesn't quite fit amazing right now. The Heritage Classic McDavid is just a work of art. I feel bad putting it on my body because it's just such a beautiful thing. And I have just a home blank Adidas Oilers jersey. We've got a friend who does an amazing job customizing jerseys and doing all these things. And my plan was always to get Draisaitl. I don't know if I should like mix it up during, like, should I not touch anything? Should I leave everything the same? I'm not that superstitious because I don't think that I have any power over anything in the world because I'm just such a weak, stupid man. But if I were to get that customized, should I be going Draisaitl at this point?
Yeah,
I think you leave it. I think it's, again, I'm not superstitious either,
I am,
but I
incredibly.
enjoy the fun that can come along with it. I like the idea of
Yeah.
tricking yourself into thinking you matter.
Jay is very superstitious. So when we were in Dallas, he wore pants in game 1, and in game 2, it was incredibly hot, but then he was sweating everything out of him. But he refused to put on shorts because he wore pants in game 1.
Yeah.
Jay rocks, and that gets back to the thing of like, I get why fans freak out, and I'm not saying Jay freaks out, but I'm saying like I get why fans get overwhelmed by the moment or do all these things or whatever. Like, it means so much to us that we think about our pants. That's crazy. The grasp that this sport and specifically this team, again, really, like I hope that everybody in Edmonton appreciates that what you have with your team is different than what everybody else has with their team that's remaining. Like, and I love the unique relationship that exists between different fan bases and their team. But if there were one team right now that's like, this means everything, it's Edmonton. And part of it is they have the greatest player ever. And another part of it, though, is you guys have been kind of waiting for this one for a little while. I mean, people will talk about they got a bunch of first overall picks or whatever, but like, Taylor Hall didn't turn into a 2 years later there where you guys are right now. Like, there was suffering, and to see the Moss Pit dancing and to see a Clefbaum video make everybody that happy shows that what you have going on is very unique to you, and just no one else has it.
We love you, DJ. Appreciate you hopping on again, man. We are so happy that you're on the bandwagon and that you're an Oil man for life. We hope to see you in Edmonton if the Oilers can finish the job here against Dallas.
Hell yeah. And folks, check out What Chaos. It's every day. You could subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, but we also have a nice studio just like these boys, and we do it daily, noon Eastern time. So calculate for the oil time. But yeah, we can drop the link in there. But thanks as always for having me, boys.
Yeah, we got the link in the YouTube description already. Everyone go watch What Chaos. DJ, appreciate you. Thanks, dog.
Thanks, friends.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.